I want to introduce Paul Shamplina, who's going to be our guest speaker this evening. Has anyone heard of Paul Shamplina before? Yeah, very well known. He owns the largest eviction company in the UK, very well known, very, very good advice. We came across Paul a couple of years ago, and we were advised to give him a call because of a couple of problems that we had. And what I can say is the advice we had, the guidance, the information, the support, and actually the accessibility was just second to none. There's a lot of people out there that do have a lot of information, you can't seem to get hold of them. That was one thing about Paul, you could always get hold of him, and he was so helpful. Having evicted 15,000 tenants, I think he knows a little bit about that subject. So could you all please give Paul Shamplina a very, very warm welcome and a thunderous round of applause.
Might put your PowerPoint. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me okay? Thank God this room's not full of tenants. I'd be in big trouble, wouldn't I? Okay. I'll give you a little bit of background about me in a minute. Today's talk is going to be beware of the property sharks. Okay? A lot of talks that I do generally up and down the country, and I'm doing about 5 to 8 talks a month, is how to avoid a bad tenant. Okay? On behalf of Landlord Action in respect of eviction and referencing and so forth. Okay, my background, I've worked in law for over 20 years now, worked for a couple of firms of solicitors, worked in the last recession, which was completely different to this recession because unemployment, even though unemployment is now up to 2.36 million, I believe, unemployment was even higher in those days and the interest rate was 16%. Pardon me. I was going to court getting repossession orders for banks and building societies, so obviously I wasn't popular. And a record amount of possession orders I obtained in one day once, when I was 18, was 22 hearings I did in one day. That shows how really bad the repossession situation, the recession was. We're now at most probably a 15-year high when it comes to repossessions. But obviously this recession is completely different. Okay? No, I always knew there was going to be a recession. I couldn't have predicted the ferocity and the speed of what happened, and globally as to what's happened in respect to the recession. After working for a couple of law firms, I'd always done landlord and tenant while working for solicitors, but I got a little bit bored and I wanted to work for myself, so I became a certified bailiff. I was doing loads of different evictions on behalf of commercial clients. I remember once closing down a crack house in Brixton with 18 policemen on tow, being chased by squatters from a squat in northwest London, and as a private investigator, process server and tracing agent, I used to do loads of matrimonial surveillance on behalf of husband and wives, used to trace loads of debtors and criminals on behalf of clients, and did loads of process serving, delivering documents for clients all over the country. But I'd always done evictions on behalf of clients working with solicitors. And in 1999, I set up Landlord Action. We're now coming up to our 10th anniversary in September, and as Sylvia mentioned, we've done over 15,000 cases. At any one time, we run 600 to 700 live eviction cases all over the country. But as time has gone on, I'd say the last 18 months, we've actually, not only is our core business evictions on behalf of landlords, and of course everyone says, oh, I bet you're busy at the moment. Of course we are busy, but we've always been busy. I'm now doing I've set up a debt recovery department, and we're doing loads of debt recovery all over the country on behalf of landlords, trying to pursue debts against tenants with judgments, as well as now we're moving into other fields of debt recovery. You know, we even do debt recovery for firms of accountants for invoices owed and stuff like that. But property related, we're now acting for loads of landlords in respect of, i.e. letting agents withholding rents, or not passing on the rents to landlords, which has become really increased tenfold in the last 12 months. And also property sharks. Property sharks, for me, are people that scam people to do with property. And as mentioned, we've seen a huge increase in that, and we're dealing with instructions. We're also doing, and I've kind of like moved full circle to a certain extent. We do a lot of tracing, and we're now doing private investigation work, really on request, which I did in a former life, but we're offering those services for clients with regard to financial information into organisations and individuals. My company is recommended by the leading landlord associations in this country. And these are the topics we're going to be talking about today. Local housing allowance, the biggest bugbear in buy-to-let. I'm sure some of you will agree, and I'll come to that shortly. Professional bad tenants. Tenants that go from one property to another and have no intention of paying whatsoever. Cannabis factories, okay? God help you if you have a cannabis factory in your property. Totally trashed and destroyed, okay? Property investment clubs that will offer you unbelievable deals that don't exist. And rogue letting agents. During a couple of my slides to do with property investment clubs, I've got a couple of people involved within that subject that will stand up and talk for a couple of minutes. One talking about their experience with regard to property investment clubs, and also we have a solicitor here that's also acting on behalf of clients that have coming across where they bought properties off plan and the values don't stack up, and he actually issues proceedings on behalf of clients pursuing surveyors and their indemnity insurances. And rogue letting agents, we have a couple of people here, they should be here shortly, of landlords that have instructed a letting agent, but the agents have actually withheld their rents and not passing it on. Okay? Okay, subject one.